In what will be remembered as one of the most iconic Game 5s in EuroLeague history, Olympiacos beat AS Monaco and clinched their ticket to the Final Four, sending Peace and Friendship Stadium to a complete frenzy. With both teams knowing each other perfectly well after playing 4 games before, it was a matchup between experience and talent, with many small details that had huge influence. Let's go over the main keys of Olympiacos' win.
Thomas Walkup with the steal and jam, and we have a tied basketball game.
The star of the first quarter was the experienced forward Kostas Papanikolaou with his impressive job on defense. The Greek forward didn't let Monaco's second scoring option Dwayne Bacon to get in the rhythm. American was physically pushed around from the first minutes, which led him into missing a couple of shots. Finally, everything culminated with irritated Bacon shoving Papanikolaou and committing an offensive foul and then getting rejected emphatically on the break. American finished the game with 12 points, but needed all 12 shots to get them. It was a huge win for Olympiacos and Papanikolaou, since it meant Mike James had to do much more and expect the help from other teammates. And oh boy did they deliver. As usual, James was a bit more of a creator in the first half, looking more for his buddies than forcing shots by himself. Early on, Olympiacos were often switching on top pick and rolls, which meant guards had to front against Monaco's bigs and low men had to be in the middle ready to help. With James able to throw bullet passes to corners, the helpers couldn't come back before the guest shooters let it fly. This was a risk from Bartzokas which didn't work out in the first half, focusing on James and passes to inside while giving up pretty open looks from deep. Monaco scored 35 points in the second quarter alone. The only risk that worked this game was icing the side pick and roll with Motiejunas on court and allowing him to pop out and shoot 3-pointers. Even though he hit 1 triple this game, it was the only one he managed to score throughout this series from 8 tries, making this a successful tactic. This game will be remembered as an instant classic not only for the outcome or the wild things around the court. The shot making was incredible as both teams displayed maximum concentration and enormous offensive potential. Every risk was punished. Guards that are not that stable from deep made 1 3-pointer after another when the other team went under or not closed out hard enough. Paris Lee, Thomas Walkup, Shaquille McKissick. Everyone had a big game and especially a big second quarter. McKissick scored 16 in 10 minutes with James not respecting his shot and then later Monaco making 2 defensive errors against him. Bacon allowing an easy closeout drive to the right where he showed off his crazy acceleration. And then Monaco not getting back properly and leaving out driving gaps in transition.
Point territory. McKissick lets it go and inevitably.
In a game where so much was decided by offensive improvisation, we got an unexpected hero for Olympiacos. Thomas Walkup, just like in Game 1, played a crucial role while doing absolutely everything on the court, making threes versus the undercoverage, attacking with snake move against Motiejunas on pick and roll, scoring one-on-one in mid-range off the dribble, and obviously sneaking in for the steal and a monster jam in transition, which finally brought back the parity in this game after 20 minutes of Monaco's lead. For the guest instead, everything was going just like they planned. Mike James was finally heating up after passing the ball more in the first half. The American didn't care about the double teams late in the possession or the difficulty of these shots. For a moment he was in the zone few can enter, where you can just pray he doesn't make these incredibly tough stepbacks or rainbow threes in the last seconds. Even James himself had to smile after making this one from a nicely designed play by Obradovic meant for the last seconds of the game. With 5 minutes left in this epic series and everything up for grabs, the stage was set for the perfect ending. Down 1, the Greeks turned to Kostas Sloukas and their most successful set in this series, Spain pick and roll. First time Monaco tried to switch between guards, but Sloukas turns the corner to his strong left hand and makes the layup. Don't change what's working, and only runs it again. This time Hall switches the first screen, but Bacon and Thomas miscommunicate on the back screen, leaving Fall alone under the rim, with James who has 4 fouls as a low man. Third time they finally get switches right, but it leaves Sloukas one-on-one against Thomas. Forward reaches in as the playmaker goes behind the back, and Kostas scores twice from the line. Down 3, Monaco calls Bacon's number, but he's not in the zone after the difficult start of the game. but there is Hall getting one of their 13 offensive rebounds. Unfortunately, Monaco weren't able to collect second chances points like they would have wanted to and had only 6 of them. Olympiacos kept feeding their hot hand Sloukas, who knows a thing or two about closing out important games with his IQ. He sees Outara go under the first high screen, immediately turns back with fall screening, that way creating more than enough space for an open shot. On the other side, James is targeting back Sloukas on the defense and swishes one more improbable step back. Here comes an interesting decision from Monaco. Down only by 1 possession, they decided to trap the ball at half court and gamble for the steal. Dorsey takes a bold decision here to pull the trigger with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, but it turns out to be the most important shot in this series.
Tyler Dorsey connects from downtown.
Down 6, everyone in the building knows James is going to shoot. He targets Sloukas again and gets the switch he wants, but Hall comes to set another screen immediately, so now James is against Fall, making this shot much more difficult. He bricks it, the shot clock doesn't reset, and Piraeus starts to celebrate their highly awaited comeback to the Final Four. There, they will meet defending champions Anadolu Efes with Larkin and Micic. Olympiacos had a good repetition for this matchup with Mike James, and I don't see them as underdogs since Anadolu hasn't been as solid as they were last year. However, one game elimination leaves a lot of space for unexpected events. What do you think about all these chances and this epic quarterfinal series? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.